let's just bring him on board, because I know he's probably got a very busy weekend with lots of Mark. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Oh, thank you for joining us, and thank you for your patience, because we are running a little bit behind Mark, but it's so
good
wonderful.
Chat, though. You've got such good chat. I'm interested. It's just I'm double duty with parenting at the moment.
Oh, that's wonderful. Look, Mark, you know, I noted you down here on being, you know, the dancing on ice skating star. Obviously, you're much more than that, wasn't you? I want to find out about your vegan journey. I know it means a lot to you. I want to find out about you. I want to find out about, you know, your ice skating career, because that is just incredible. Tell us how that came about, first of all.
I suppose I'm kind of a bit stereotypical ice skating journey. I watched Torvill and Dean. They won the Olympics in '84, but they returned to the Winter Olympics in '94. And I was 9 at the time, and it was on TV, and I took a fancy. Well, I was interested in it, and then I pestered my parents to let me to go skating, and that was the beginning of a long journey that's got me to this point, making it my career, really.
That's incredible. Were you like really athletic or gymnastic type person anyway?
I don't know. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't skate. But I think I'm just incredibly lucky to have turned my passion, something that I'm so passionate about, into my job. I just think that's, you know, incredibly fortunate, and it truly is my passion. And from 9 years old, I've never really looked back. I actually am a bit scared with this pandemic recently, and ice rinks were closed. It was thinking, oh my goodness, this is all I know. What would I do if I don't skate?
Maybe you'll turn into the next huge vegan chef.
Maybe so. Maybe I'll be Bettina's sous chef for a while.
Yeah. Look, you make it look effortless and graceful, and I just think, you know, I am rubbish. I've tried it a couple of times. I'm clinging on. I'm one of these people. I was even too scared to hold the penguin. You know, the penguin thing that you get in an ice rink. I'm so rubbish. I was always the last to be picked for PE, and it's left a scar on my life. Mark, when you first went onto the ice rink, did you just whiz off and you could do it all, or did you fall over?
I mean, oh gosh, I do. To be fair, to be truthfully honest, I still fall over. Falling over is an occupational hazard, so don't worry. It's not something that has escaped me now, even though I've been doing it for forever. But I think like so many things in life, I was just so. My mind was so clear in what I wanted to do, and so then any obstacles didn't really bother me, because I was so fixated on the idea of becoming the next Torvill and Dean that I didn't really have time to consider the difficulties or the challenges. So I suppose it's mindset, really. It was the mindset that allowed me to do well at the job. Wasn't even conscious of how difficult it was, I suppose. But then that's youth as well, ignorance of youth.
Oh, to get to an incredible level like you is obviously, you know, you're the top of the game. There's not many people that would be at your high level, Mark. What has it taken to get to such a level? Is it, you know, 10 hours every single day? What does one have to do?
I mean, I suppose it's like so many professions. I think it was just total obsessive monomaniacal fixation on the job, and I think I mean, I'm lucky now that I can kind of reap the rewards for the practice that I put in. And I think I remember now looking back at times and being absolutely penniless, trying to pay the bills for my ice skating lessons and being just perpetually exhausted, but I was happy. You know, I look back in that time and think, whilst I was definitely penniless and definitely exhausted, and you know, nothing like the comfort of life I have now with my family, but I was happy pursuing that dream. So I think it takes just monomaniacal obsession, and that's what's nice to hear about some of the other guests that you've had, is that they're so passionate about their craft that it's not really, what's that quote? You're not working, you know, you don't, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That kind of idea, I think.
Yeah, I love that. Mark, you know, you're one of the stars on Dancing on Ice, of course, one of the experts. You've worked with some really brilliant people. How does that come about? Did they spot you and say, we want Mark on the show? Or do you sort of apply and say, hey, look, I'm fabulous, can I be on the show?
Um, so what had happened actually, I was competing at the World Figure Skating Championships. I was competing at the European and the World Skating Championships, and Dancing on Ice had been on air. So I didn't start it, it's been on air for 13 years. And I was competing at that World Championship level whilst it was on air. And I remember going to ask Christopher Dean if he would choreograph my next competitive program for the next season of hopeful World Championship level events. And I'd gone to meet him when he was in the country. He was actually at Sheffield Arena with a tour from the TV show. And so we went backstage and we were chatting about my world, the competitive world. And I think it gave me a little insight into what was happening in their TV world. And then just, I think after that, it wasn't long before then they said, would you be interested in jumping ship and coming over to the TV show? And then sort of never looked back. I mean, there's still a big part of me that wishes that I had pursued more competitive success. But nevertheless, I can be more grateful for the opportunities and experience that Dancing on Ice has offered.
Well, we've got some fantastic photos coming up, and I want to find out about your vegan journey, Mark, because I'm just so nosy. I love people, and I love finding out, especially, somebody that's embarking on a vegan journey, whether it's like wonderful Rose Elliott, who 50 years ago was championing the message, or Bettina that's had, incredible results with her own health. What was your turning point as such, Mark?
So I was brought up in a meat eating family. And then when I was competing, my competitive ice dance partner, she was from Colorado Springs and her family were vegetarian. And I spent a lot of time over in Colorado living with them as we trained out there. And actually, I cooked for the family as kind of thanks for the board. So I was cooking vegetarian food all the time. And then my then girlfriend, my now wife, she was vegetarian also, just sort of coincidence. So I kind of evolved into vegetarian, but more through circumstance rather than choice. And then for some reason, I don't know quite how it transpired, but I saw Cowspiracy, or I saw some stuff online, and you go down that rabbit hole of seeing different bits and bobs, and then I watched Cowspiracy, and then I saw What the Health, and then it just like slapped in the face with this unbelievable awareness of how imperatively important it was for me to be a vegan. And I just felt so ignorant before. I suppose like so many other people, you grew up, I mean, I adore my parents, and I don't blame them, but obviously I was just brought up in a meat eating house, and that's what you did. And I would have probably continued doing that unless I'd had this stark reality of seeing these TV programs and these documentaries, and then thinking now there's a big part of me that tries to tread the line of wanting to educate others without being an obnoxious in your face vegan.
Love that. So when was that, Mark? Are we talking how many years ago?
I think about 6 years ago now.
Yeah. Vegan. Do you feel like, I mean, look, I know I want to acknowledge, because obviously we're chatting and there's so much to talk about. We're going to be out of time, I know, but I mean, these are outstanding images from what you can do as well. I want to know, because I get to hang out with a lot of high level world champion vegan sports stars, and they do tell me that being vegan has actually really enhanced their performance or their sports or even their recovery time. Anything like that for you, Mark?
I mean, I think for me, it's a shame in a way that when I was competing at that elite world level, that I was more vegetarian. It would be interesting. I don't sort of push my body to the same degree that I did when I was competing at that world level. But one of the things that I now feel when I'm performing, or just in general life, is I just feel more at peace with what I'm eating, and just happier in the knowledge that it's good fuel. And interestingly, in my industry, in the skating world, we're often all very fixated on body image, and so often for a lot of skaters and dancers, we're always very body conscious, and not necessarily in a good way. And so I'd always be worrying about the food that I was taking in. But now that I'm committed to being a vegan, I feel much happier and comfortable with the idea that if it's vegan, it's good. I much less stress about whatever I put in my body, just the knowledge that I'm not endorsing the dairy industry or the meat industry, which I know can be so detrimental to the planet and myself.
When you're on set, and filming, I mean, are they catering for you well?
Oh my goodness. They use a company in dancing. I used to use a company called Eat to the Beat, and it's been interesting because I've worked on the show now for 8 series, and the vegan, more and more of the production, and it's a massive production of hundreds of people, are choosing the vegan option, but the food is amazing. It's so good. And the problem is, again, like I was saying, I don't worry about why I eat so much. The desserts now, like in my head, I'm thinking anything that's vegan is good, but the desserts, which are probably laden with sugar, which might be vegan but not good, I'm like, oh well, it's okay because it's vegan, but they're amazing.
That's fantastic. Do you think it's been a relatively short journey compared to obviously Rose Elliott or whatever? Do you think you've noticed a change in this time for the vegan message?
Oh, monumentously. And I remember just even now interacting, because especially when I pertain it to Dancing on Ice, because every year that I do that show, we meet a new mix of celebrities and a new mix of production cast. So I'm meeting new people every year. So like go in, meet all these new people. And previously, about 6 years ago, when I'd made this commitment to tell everybody that I was vegan, it was like a big deal. And it was like, oh, Mark's a vegan. Oh, we need to worry about what to feed Mark. And now it's like, I feel like so many more people are vegan or accepting of it, or at least educated a little bit more in the importance of it, which is wonderful. And I think obviously the more that we can do that, the better.
Mark, tell me, just what's a typical day now for you with your food wise then?
Oh my goodness, because it does change when I'm on the TV show. So the final was last week. So just when I'm working on the TV show, I can eat an inordinate amount of food just because I'm churning up so much energy skating and lifting. Whereas now what I've actually got at the moment, which I love, is a company called Human Food, which create these human food bars. Mixed it up with some oat milk, a banana, whiz there, maybe a bit of maple syrup if I'm being a bit naughty. Love that as a smoothie. Lunch, I love toast and avocado, coconut oil on it, pine nuts, salt, pepper, happy days. And actually, it's my birthday tomorrow, and my wife is she's got this vegan chef, Gautier from London. Apparently, so there's this food pack that's come. So it's Michelin-starred vegan chef. That's something we have to create tomorrow. So that will be my food for this weekend, which I'm very excited about.
You know what, Mark? I can't remember their name because there's only one doing that, and I had their food a couple of months ago. Go on, go and have a look. I love this. I love the realness of doing a live broadcast. Yeah, tell me.
So Gautier, I mean, she I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, I think it's a different one actually saying that.
Alexis Gautier and all the team at Gautier Soho, but apparently that was a Michelin star chef who got his first Michelin star, and it talks about it here, and he would offer foie gras and all sorts of hideous things, and now he's become vegan himself, and he's got a Michelin star as a vegan chef. And I just think that to me is just so exciting when you hear of somebody who would eat something like foie gras and now has been educated and enlightened, and now being able to create wonderful food that others will enjoy from a vegan perspective.
Oh, that's wonderful. Because I mean, in the real normal world, you probably go out for dinner and have a lovely birthday, but at least you've got some really fantastic special food, so you can have a lovely celebration, even if it is a kind of a lockdown birthday.
Yeah, too true. But I think also when I finished Dancing on Ice, having to stay in shape for the TV show for so long, post TV show, it's like no holds barred. Give me all the food.
Vegan chocolate, vegan. You'll have to post on your Instagram, perhaps. Take a photo of the food, because I'm interested to try it as well.
Well, that's one of the things I've always been told that I need to be more proactive on social media. And I know obviously that so much of the world is now online and on social media. And for a long time, I really struggled with it. I didn't really like the narcissism of it all. I felt like selfies is all that we do on social media. But this year I've come to terms with I am passionate as a vegan. I am passionate about trying to educate others. So I'm just going to try and use my social media platform about something that I'm passionate about. So I don't feel like it's just a big Mark Hanretty fest taking selfies. It's actually Mark Hanretty promoting something that I think is really important and that I'm passionate about. So I am going to be posting more and more vegan stuff online, not just dancing.
Yay! Oh, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful because, you know, I think people that, you know, like you've got Joaquin Phoenix from America and Moby, and, you know, I've chatted to Joaquin's agent and I'm chatting to Moby's agent again, which is lovely. I feel very blessed. But I just think it's wonderful when people have got a platform, because that's how we're going to create change. You know, your fans that will like you and they follow you on the show, they follow your career. You know, it's another way of actually saying, hey guys, you know, this is what I'm doing, and, you know, maybe it's of interest to you.
Yeah, and I think certainly initially when I first turned vegan, there was a bit of a stigma and there was a bit of a fear about, you know, putting yourself on a platform to say, oh, you know, I think, well, you'll probably have experienced it much more than I have for all the time that you've been a vegan, but there was a stigma with, oh, rabbit food and that kind of thing. But now, I mean, people like Lewis Hamilton, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, like all these, you know, epic players in society that are now vegan helps to boost the cause so much.
Mark, look, we could chat all day, but we've got the whole weekend jam-packed with VegFest UK events online. You can, people watching live on YouTube. We'll send you the link as well, Mark, afterwards. Just really, in a nutshell, as I asked Bettina, Tim and I are going to come round to your house next week. What are you going to make for me and Tim for dinner?
Oh, that's just too hard. There's just too much wonderful vegan good. Do you know, I had actually recently, my son had a vegan cookbook for his birthday. He just turned 8. And we made this wonderful lasagna, but it had like ground almonds in it and all sorts of fabulous vegetables. And oh, I'll make you that. My son, my 8-year-old, will make you a vegan lasagna.
Oh, Mark, thank you. We wish you every success. I really hope that you can come back on and we can carry on our conversation.
Cool. Take care.
All the best and happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye. Bye. Oh.